4Gs, let's go. 4Gs, look. Full syndication, full elevation, all generations, we already made it. Full syndication, full elevation, all generations, we already made it. We got Shot, Dot, Malcolm, Chris the King, plus the Doc. You know that's like 4Gs. Sports Mind. Real world, real problems, real news, real sports. We gon' let you know right here on 4Gs.
Welcome to another sports podcast with your boys from 4G Sports. As always, subscribe, hit the bell, so you always know when we put up something new. All right, let's get all that out the way. Also, you know today is a very special day. Today would have been the 42nd birthday for one Kobe Jellybean Bryant. All right. So with that said, let's give it the mama mentality today, and let's get right into it. Of course, you already know I'm the OG.
I'm the king.
Hey, you know what it is. You got the Doc.
Yes, sir. And today, as you can see, we have another guest, which now we would like to welcome Coach Kurt. All right, Coach.
What's going on, world?
Real quick, sir.
So my name is Coach Kurtgipson. I am the head coach for the Scottsdale Sirens. I am the president of A to Z Sports, also with the Phoenix Knights AAU Travel Basketball Club. Last but not least, I am the assistant coach and strength and conditioning coach for South Mountain Community College Women's Basketball Program.
All right. All right. So now you got his background. We going right in. Go ahead, King.
I'm gonna kind of like rephrase this question a little bit. At what point in time did you know that you were going to become a coach, and was it a natural progression?
Well, I actually, when it comes down to this coaching thing, it's a childhood dream, actually. Right around 6, 7 years old, like everybody, well, most of the world, I wanted to be like Mike. Played on a recreational team, realized that I like playing street ball, but I like the ins and outs and the team progression of it. So from that point, I did other sports like football, baseball, wrestling, but I actually was the basketball manager my senior year, along with the football manager my senior year. I did try out my junior year, once again wanting to be like Mike. At a brand new school, and was one of the last guys cut, which is all good because that's how I knew that, I wasn't supposed to hoop and I was supposed to coach. From that point, I went to college, volunteered at the Boys and Girls Club at the age of 19, went to the military, got out a couple years later. From that point, was doing church leagues at 21, 22, came out here at 23, started as a high school coach at 24 as the head coach for Academy with Community Partners, which was in 2010. And it's been all uphill from that point. So
Nice.
That's great. Now, tell them about your demeanor. This question right here is going to be kind of funny. Have you ever been ejected from a game as a player or coach?
Actually, I make other coaches get ejected from the game. And some of the coaches who probably go watch this podcast knows exactly what I'm talking about. Me personally, no, I've never been ejected. I've actually only caught one technical foul in my whole coaching career. From that point, they made me sit down, and from that point, I said that I'll never catch another tech. But I enjoy making other coaches get technicals and getting kicked out again. I really do. It's real fun.
Why do you say enjoy twice? That is funny.
Because I am a strategic. Math is my favorite subject, and when it comes down to this game, I study, eat, live, sleep this game. So when it comes down to basketball and coaching, I like to drive the fans crazy. I like to drive the team crazy. I like to drive the coaches crazy, and it's fun. So if I can get under their skin to the point where they catching technical fouls and they lose control of themselves, they say you cut the head off the snake. Well, the head is the head coach, so let me cut his head off, and everything or her, and everything will be okay.
Yeah.
Facts.
Hey, I can't argue with your strategy. Can't argue with that.
So do you do that more by chirping with the refs or giving those comments?
I do everything. I am the head cheerleader. I make the fans scream defense. I talk to the players. I talk to the refs. I constantly switch stuff. I'll call a timeout once you call it. It's a mental. Basketball is 90% mental, 10% physical. And if people can't understand that, you got to have that strong mentality. So I'm, as a player, Jordan, Kobe, KG, those are my top 3 favorites. And all of them got that killer mentality where they get into people's heads. So me as a coach, it's my job to get into their heads.
Yeah. Yeah. So as both a student and steward of the game, and being a coach as long as you have been now, if you could do anything differently in changing stuff from the high school basketball scene going forward, what would you do? And kind of an example I have for that is, would you look to eliminate maybe AAU and focus greater on high school basketball again, like way back in our day, or just make small adjustments?
Well, when it comes down to high school basketball, I feel like we need to educate the players more on what's going on at an earlier basis. Definitely wouldn't say take out AAU, things like that, because travel ball and AAU is a good avenue in which they do get a chance to get in front of other college coaches. I do feel like AAU programs and high school programs should work hand in hand with one another, where, if you can find a program where you guys can kind of run the same systems or have the same type of philosophies and things like that, it does work better for the student athlete. But most, like I say, definitely teaching them about financing, teaching them about, what they have to get as far as their SATs and PSATs, and making sure that we have the avenue of what do you want to major in. So that way, if you got to take community service hours, then you already know as a freshman what you need to do in order for you to be where you want to be. What one of the faults is that people really don't start thinking about their future until their junior year normally. And by that time, you're already going into 3 years into the game and almost heading out. So if we can educate these student athletes more earlier, middle school, I start talking to my kids at 9, 10, 11 years old as far as building a plan on what you want to do and how you want to be successful, finding the mentors and the mentees and role models and fields in which you can volunteer in that field of what you want to do. The more that we can further educate themselves, then the better that it's going to be for the student athlete, ultimately, which is always the main focus and the main point.
Yep.
All right. Before the King answers next question, you said finance. When do you feel that you should teach finance to student athletes? Junior high or right when they walk into high school?
Junior high. The earlier, the better.
Because most kids don't even know what a checkbook is.
Exactly. They don't know what a bill is. They don't know interest rates. They don't know.
That's true.
They barely know how to make change. So, people skills. I mean, when you really think about it, at that age, how many kids are really dealing with money? Realistically speaking. You know what I mean? And then when they're 16 years old and they're trying to get a job, that's why I have my program A to Z Sportz. It's a youth program that keeps youth busy, out of trouble, and off the streets. I actually provide youth from the ages of 12 and up with a part-time job doing fundraising. I also help them with whatever sport that they want to get into, as far as finding a club, finding like-minded people who I already know or avenues in which they want to go into. And then the program will also help with their membership fees and tournaments and things like that, because we know it costs an arm and a leg and it takes a village to raise a child. So That's the main reason why we have our program. A, the number 2, Z Sports with a Z.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So, Coach Kurt, what advice can you give high school students transitioning from high school to college?
A lot. It's a major difference and a major level depending on what level that you're going on. Okay. And if you're going the JUCO route, that's a great route to go into. To me, because of the fact it brings you on what college is still like, without having the huge classrooms, the lecture halls. It's less expensive, so you can get your core classes out the way. If you got like that home fear, things like that, it's a smaller environment in which you can kind of get ready for the bigger schools. If it comes down to like your NJCAAs, your D2, D1s, then you got to be ready to, live in dorms, live on your own. You definitely have to have a Mamba mentality as far as staying focused on your goals, on what you want to do, because at that time it's very easily to get distracted. If you don't know why you're there and what you're doing there, then you're not going to finish. It's just how it really boils out. But the more, as far as on the sports wise, you have to have time management skills. You have to be able to know that you just can't practice, but you got to work on your craft also. You got to keep up with your homework. You got to worry about travel. You got to it's a full-time job if you are a student athlete. And the better you can use your time management, the more that you can accomplish, which is the whole point of college anyway. So,
yeah, I have something to add on to that question as well. So why is it that a lot of the kids of today have that D1 or bust mentality?
Because that's the American dream. Yeah. That's what's always been sold. Everybody want to be, like I said, be like Mike, or, come out of high school like LeBron, or now, they're going overseas your freshman year, like LaMelo Ball. When it comes down to the real high profile names, especially at the next level, they're not really pushing the athletes who did the 4 years. Or, they're not pushing the Dennis Rodmans. They're not pushing the Scottie Pippens. It's just not what's happening. So it takes for them to understand that it is a process, and it's not a D1 or bust mentality that you have to have. It's how hard and that you're willing to grind to get to where you want to be ultimately.
Yeah. Cam Newton's a good example of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. You had mentioned the Scottsdale Sirens earlier. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and the balance between your coaching schedule?
Yes. The Scottsdale Sirens, we are the new semi-pro women's team in Scottsdale, Arizona. We do have our brother team, the Scottsdale Titans. They're in the ABA themselves. We're just now bringing out this year. We're actually 3 months in. We have 7 young ladies right now. We're still looking for more. We actually have tryouts this up and coming Saturday at 6 p.m. And that is at Sequoia Charter School off of Horne and the Freeway in Mesa from 6 until 8. You can always feel free to go on info@scottsdalesirens.com, or you can go on any one of my Coachkurtgipson or Coach Kurt sites, and I'll be more than happy to give more information on that aspect. Or just show up. Like I said, it's this Saturday at 6 p.m. And what we are is we're actually going to be the first professional women team to play in Mexico against the professional Mexico's team, women's team. The WNBA hasn't even done that yet. And we're actually looking at teaming up with some of the other local teams here There's a team in Tucson called the Tucson Souls. There's a team there's a semi-pro team that's in Phoenix also. And we're looking at maybe at creating a crosstown rivalries, trying to bring forth the energy and the love for women's sports. I mean, this Phoenix Mercury has the most championship teams out of any team in Arizona, but yet they don't get a whole lot of love. So, really trying to bring forth, we're like basically the G League of the Phoenix Mercury is how we're looking at ourselves. And this is a way for the ladies to still be able to live their dream, be a professional player, even get a chance to maybe go overseas or maybe even get a tryout with the Mercury or any WNBA teams. And I'm excited. I have a great coaching staff, and we're ready to bring the noise. So when it comes down to how I balance my coaching schedules, like I said, time management is key. I do keep a Google Calendar, so that way I know what's happening, when, where, at what times. Because like currently, I'm basically coaching 5 teams right now. So I do 3 AAUs. I have the semi-pro, and then I have the JUCO. So I get in where I fit in. My thing is just staying in the loop, staying in the field, keeping my face out there. My big goal is to be a D1 coach and then WNBA or NBA coach, whichever one comes first. I originally started coaching boys. I've coached girls back in 2004, and then I did it again in 2014. Beyond that, I always thought that it was boys. But then in 2018, I got the opportunity to coach at South Mountain and help out there. And then I went to American Indian College in 2019, which is NAIA. And now I'm doing semi-pro. I'm back at the JUCO, and I'm doing AAU. So,
okay. So, in kind of thinking along the lines of these teams that you coach, whose coaching style have you modeled yours from? Would it be a previous coach, or are you looking at some of the professionals, or is it kind of a mix of all of them?
It's a mixture, and it's a big mixture. It's a huge mixture. All the way from Coach Carter, Chris Carter, from Carter Wilson, who was the varsity coach and that coach at Georgia Tech, also back at Decatur High School. As far as high schools go, as far as colleges go, I Coach K, Coach Calipari. When it comes down to Coach Simmons from Tennessee. When it comes down to the Shaka Smart, when it comes down to the pros, Mark Jackson, Phil Jackson, Greg Popovich, these are all just one. Doc Rivers, he's Tom Thibodeau, he's my guy. Jason Kidd, he's my guy. Really upset that Sam Cassell hasn't had an opportunity to be a head coach yet. Man, because he has championships under his belt like crazy. But like I said, it's a mixture of coaching. Also, my mentor, Alfred Craig Jr., who's locally out here in Arizona. Like I said, and then I have other coaches who I've coached against who now I contact and who is I'm in great communications with them also. So I just talk and learn and grow each and every day.
Yeah. Hey, OG, before you go off topic, I wanna kind of add a question in here. You mentioned you coach these 5 teams, and your dream is to get to that next level, be it D1, WNBA, whatever the case may be. If somebody is standing in front of you right now, what's your dream job?
My dream job actually would be to coach either at ASU or at the University of Georgia.
Whoa!
Nice.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice.
That's shocking. I thought you'd have said something in the pros, but that's very shocking. I like that. I want to add another question beyond that. We discussed this off and on this show about paying student athletes and also the difference of going to a D1, D2 compared to an HBCU. So if you had a kid, boy or girl, it doesn't even matter, that it's their time to choose. First, would you kind of push them to the HBCUs, or still stick with the D1s, and what is your feeling on student athletes getting paid?
Student athletes getting paid is something that should have already happened a long time ago. If they're not going to get paid, then we do need to make sure that that the necessities are taken care of without any questions. The reason why is because they do profit a lot from each student athlete, and the things that I've heard and the things that I've seen, it's saddening to know that besides the 3 meals that they get from the student cafeteria, and you're saying that they can't have a part-time job and they get a $300, $400, $500 stipend, but what is that really taken care of when the player is 6 foot, 6'2", 6'5"? They're running and exercising and working and grinding and up 12, 14, 16, 18 hours a day, and they got to eat chopped ramen but yet we're preaching to put the right things in you. We're preaching that, your body is your temple and you got to feel it right, but yet we don't have the financing or the means to make sure that at least the basics are taken care of. So if we're not going to pay, then hey, make sure that they have a refrigerator full of food. Make sure that they have a food allowance. Make sure that they have a little walk around money. And if you did those things like that, then you would be taking out the agents or the hidden fees, as far as people trying to slide you money for this, or let me take you out to dinner for that. If we take care of them ourselves, at least with the money that's coming into the school anyway, yes, okay, schools, books, classroom is taken care of. All right, great. Now, what about the food? That you get your game shoes, but besides that, what do you really want them walking around in? We got to make sure, give them a little BAH or and allowance is what we used to call it as we were growing up. So that way that we know that they're taking care of it, then they're going to take care of the company. And that's basically how that should go.
You gotta get less one and dones.
And that's why a lot of them are going one and done. Yeah. Simply for the fact is they hungry.
All right. Any other questions?
Of course I do. Yeah. So we ask all the basketball players this. It's a 2-part question. The first part of the question is, have you ever been dunked on, and tell us about it? The second question is, have you ever played in a basketball game and somebody was just giving you the business that you couldn't do nothing to stop them? I mean nothing. And tell us about that as well.
Dunked on? Never happened.
Oh my God.
Never happened. Never been dunked on. And the reason why is it's simple. I refuse to let you dunk on me. It's just that simple.
Right. You're getting fouled.
I refuse to let you dunk on me. It's just not going to. My son, who's 14, he's about 5'9" now, and his goal is to be able to dunk on me. And I try to tell him the same thing. It's just, I'm 35 years old now. I've never been dunked on. I'm not going to get dunked on. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I mean, it just comes a certain pride in a certain aspect. I will grab your arm, pull your arm, like that ball is not going. Now, you might touch the rim. The ball's not going in. You are not going to be successful. Okay? It's just not going to happen. as far as somebody who actually gave me the business, I would have to say would have to be my junior year. I was going a new kid at Decatur High School, running my mouth for God knows what, talking about I'm the new small forward. I'm your new starting small forward. Didn't realize that their starting small forward was the best player in the school. So his name was Omar Collington. He played actually for UNC Asheville. He played overseas also. He coaches out in Australia, things like that. Actually know Robert Dozier, who went to Memphis and played with Derrick Rose. Real good guy. But yeah, he was just big. You know, he was just big. He was 6'4". I'm sitting here at 5'11", $125, soaking wet. But what it was is me going back and forth from Arizona to Georgia. Out here in Arizona, I am considered a big man. I've always been considered a big man out here. Mm-hmm. When I go to Georgia, I'm a point guard. So and that's the aspect of why I say JUCO and things like that is a good route, because some people, if all you know is your hometown and you haven't traveled, you haven't did AAU, things like that, you might be that guy in your state, but there's a whole lot of other states out there, you know what I mean? And they breed different. Yeah. They breed different, and it's real. And the struggle is real. But he's still one of my good guys right now. Actually, come to find out, he told me that I motivated him. He said, because having nobody ever came and challenged them and actually pushed and said that they was gonna take their spot, and he said that I actually made them work hard, because he was like, if a person can just come to my high school and act that way, then anybody can at any point period of time. So he said that right there pushed him to always stay ready, and he was a senior at that too. So it's not like it was his last year there when I came in talking that smack. So
okay.
Now, I know that the first question I asked was kind of long, but the difference between going to a Division 1, 2, or 3 and HBCU, would you kind of lean
all
one way?
Options are open. I like HBCUs personally, but the information as far as a lot of people aren't taught about HBCUs, which is kind of sad. Me being from Georgia is why it's born and bred it in me from being from the East Coast. But what I found out is the further west you go, the less that the HBCUs are talked about. So it's not really publicized. What I personally have done, like I said, with the people who I know, is I introduce everything to them. I let them know what all options are. As far as my players and athletes, I give them scholarships for everywhere. As far as here's what is at least being offered, not necessarily if it fits you or not, but here's the free money that's out there that you can get if it applies to you, and this is what they're looking for. And like I said, this is where it comes down to that middle school and high school, when you're breeding these kids and figuring out what they want to do. If you're actually taking care of them financially, as far as letting them know about scholarships and grants and the requirements and what you can get, you can actually set forth a platform and a plan where they will be taken care of financially, because they've already done the work at an earlier age, versus now you're in the lake of the fire and you don't know what to do, and now you're looking left, looking right, and trying to figure out how to do what you haven't planned on already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions before we get to the show standard? All right, here we go. Coach Kurt, this is our off topic, and we ask everyone the same question. It's a debate. Kobe or LeBron? The floor is yours.
What's the question?
Kobe or LeBron? Who you got?
What, one-on-one? Talking about as an individual? What? Talking about GOAT status? What do you mean? Who's better?
Who's better?
Who would I rather have on the team?
Right.
It's not a 24. Number 8. It is really not a question. Now, don't get me wrong. I love class of 03. I graduated class of 03. You know what I mean? don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. Bron's a hell of a ball player, but when it comes down to Bron or Kobe, like that's not a question for me personally.
Hey,
not for me.
You see how you see how so
like I mean LeBron wouldn't have had the opportunity that LeBron had as far as coming out of college if it wasn't for people like KG and Kobe.
Yeah, coming out of high school.
Yeah, sorry, out of high school, pardon me, yeah. It just wouldn't have happened. And KG wasn't the first, but when it came down to the mainstream, as far as when basketball went worldwide in the 80s going into the early 90s, they've never seen it. And that's why people was like, oh, Kevin Garnett, really, Minnesota, you're going to draft him. And then when they seen what he did his rookie year, and then Kobe came the very next year, and then the whole wavelength opened. And then we got people like Sebastian Telfair and Jermaine,
Darius Miles,
Andrew Andrew Bynum, and Dwight Howard, and J.R. Smith, and my boy, big boy Josh. They was coming from everywhere. So, but if it wasn't for KG and Kobe, if it wasn't for them 2 Ks, then LeBron wouldn't have had that opportunity. It just wouldn't happen.
Right.
So you just gotta respect it.
You do.
All right. We also have another topic. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there because I really want to see where you go with this. We also do a Mount Rushmore. All right.
Okay.
So I kind of want to give you in 2 parts, but I think I kind of know your answer for one. But I really want to hear it. Your Mount Rushmore of coaches, and then your Mount Rushmore of basketball players, period, of all time.
That's a good one. Okay. Coaches. When it comes down to the coaches, I would have to say of all time.
Oh, he's thinking about this one. Boy, wish we had that Jeopardy music.
Man, it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
I know. I see. I got you on that.
This is what you call a curveball.
I'm gonna come back to the coaches. How about that? I'll come back to the coaches.
Come back to the coaches.
I'll come back to the coaches. I got to think on that one. So when it comes down to the players,
right?
For me personally, like I said, number 1 off top is MJ. MJ is the guy that brought me to basketball. And me personally, how my Rushmore goes is mine go according into which the time in which people came into the league.
Okay.
Like I said, I respect history. So number 2 for me is my boy Big Ticket Kevin Garnett. Number 3 is my boy Kobe.
Okay.
Number 4 will be my boy Tim Duncan.
Nice.
And number 5 I'll bring it to new school, which is very, 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 very difficult for me. But I'm not gonna go to new school. I'm gonna still keep it in my generation. I'm not gonna go with these 2K cats. So I'm gonna have to say my boy AI.
Whoa.
Okay.
And I'll do it that way, so that way it's everything prior to 2000.
There you go. I respect that. All right. You're not getting out of it. Let's go back. Come on now.
All right. When it comes down to coaches.
Yes, sir.
I would have to say, and it's not going to be in the order of 1 through 5. I can't do that. So I have to say my boy Pat Riley.
Okay.
Gotta have him on there.
Okay.
My boy Phil Jackson.
Okay.
Gotta have him on there. I would have to say my man Joe Torre. I would have to have him on there. If I flip it to football, even though they beat my Falcons, what's real is real and what's fake is fake. My Bill Belichick. And that hurts for me to say because I am a Falcons fan. I mean, I am a Falcons fan. You can see in the back, I got helmets and flags, and I'm a dirty bird for life. I'm still mad at you, Belichick. I'm still mad at you to this day, but I gotta give you your love. Oh my God! Don't do that.
No, don't do that. Yeah.
Please put that down. And last but not least, going to the women's, and I'll have to say my girl Pat Summit.
Yeah.
RIP.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a good choice. Yeah.
We gave you a chance, and you gave us a broad spectrum, so I'm going to give you a pass on that one. I like your Mount Rushmore.
Do we have any more questions?
I think that's it.
I think we did.
Like we always say, I know he gave a lot of information about the Sirens tryouts next Saturday. All of the information will be in the link for the show, okay?
Yeah.
So don't worry if you didn't get ready to write it down or you don't remember. We got you covered. Got you covered.
Yeah.
Coach, you got to give me one of those shirts.
That want an opportunity. Any high school girls that want an opportunity at playing college ball, please give me a contact. It don't have to be necessarily for me, but I have a lot of avenues. Like I say, my things is helping making these kids' dreams come true. So any athletes that need a mentor, coaches that want a mentor, anybody that just wants help as far as bettering your future. Teens, if you need a part-time job, once this COVID thing is dead, I got something for you. So just be in contact with me. Like I say, my middle name means a man who has a blessing, who has a purpose in God. I say a coach who has a purpose in God. So I'm here to help. Please get in contact with me. I have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Coach Kurt, the real Coach Kurt. I'm the only Coachkurtgipson that you will see. That's black. And it's with a P, not a B. It's with a P, not a B. Gipson.
Okay. Well, Coach, man, we appreciate you coming on the show today, man. We're most definitely gonna have to link up. I got some kids that will most definitely benefit from your program. Yeah. I also want you to meet my son. You can probably meet Scotty's son as well. Yeah. See what your program is about. We've been working with kids for a long period of time as well, coaching the junior high level, getting them ready for the high school level. So that's what our purpose is. Like I said, we feel like there's a gap between junior high and high school, and we want that preparation for the next level. And you're perfect for the position, man. We appreciate you coming on the show.
I appreciate y'all, man. I hope that y'all bring me back, man. This was fun.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, to our subscribers, those of you that are watching, those of you that continue to support us, man, we appreciate you. We love you all from the bottom of our heart. Please keep supporting. Please keep sharing. Tell your friends to share. Let them know to subscribe and hit that bell, man. You can get indicators for every time we premiere. For me, I'm going to go ahead and send my sign off, and my sign off really is to the Bryant family. You know, bless you all. I know today is not any easier than it was in January, so love and respect to the Bryant family.
Okay.
Is it my shout out now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
oh, my
man.
bad. I was just waiting for my cue. I can get a cue.
So different,
man. I want to give a shout out to all my friends and family out there. Mom and dad. Everyone, please stay masked up. It's a crazy world that we're in right now. God bless everybody. All the kids that are in school, online, try your best to stay focused as much as possible. I know it's complicated, but you guys have mentors out there that are willing to help out and We're just a phone call away.
All right. Coach Kurt, you got any shout outs?
Most definitely. One, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Like I said, I appreciate y'all for allowing me to come on, man. I've been following y'all and love what y'all doing. Shout out to all the Gipsons, all the Richardsons out there. My kids, they all told me, Daddy, you got to shout me out. So shout out to my daughter, Tony Stewart. Shout out to my daughter, Jay Gipson-Richardson. Shout out to my son, Donald Stewart. Shout out to my son, Amir Gipson. To my beautiful wife, Deshonda Gipson. Shout out to my mom, Myra Mills. And shout out to SMCC, the Scottsdale Sirens, the Phoenix Knights. You know, we in the building. We gonna make it happen. We gonna keep this positivity that we're doing and energy to the community and showing all the love that we can. And shout out to God. You know, I appreciate you for keeping me focused and keeping us healthy and keeping us safe. Kobe, RIP, man. Happy birthday, 24. You know what it is. And I coach with the Mamba mentality every single day. I got his book. Like I said, I got posters. I even have nightstands over my man Kobe. So, happy birthday.
Yes, sir. As far as my shout-outs go, of course, you know, giving honor to God for everything that we do. Giving honor to my brothers that's here with me doing this show every week. Coach Gipson, thank you for being on. My wife, Sports Mom, for pushing us to do this show and get it to where it is now. All our subscribers and friends and family, of course, everyone that knows us, and always, I am a Laker fan from the day one. My dad has bred this into me. So Kobe, Jellybean, Bryant, happy birthday to the Bryant family. Never met you, but we love you to death. Everyone supports you. You know, we're here, and it just, I can't believe he's gone. But hey, he's like a little brother. Never met him. He's 8 years younger than me. Watch this kid grow up. You know, sad. But like always, you can follow us, comment, and share on all our social media platforms. All right, you know, YouTube, Facebook, IG, Twitter, SoundCloud at 4G Sports with the Z. If you have comments, anything that you'd like to talk about, something we said that you don't agree with, why don't you hit us up at 4G Sports at gmail.com or Gentleman Sports on Facebook. All right, as always, we thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. 4Gs, we out.
Peace.